Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Strider back with another daily high ELO casting. So this is gonna be very interesting. I'm really excited to see this game. It's the first game I'm gonna be casting after I got my new mic. So I'm pretty excited to see how it turns out and see if we can get some good games going on here. We do have Dyrus, who is always a fan favorite. He's a great player, fantastic. He's a good guy too. He's kind of trolly sometimes, but overall, it all works out in the end, and that's all that really matters. Now, if only... No, that's not it. Alright, so... the game right now, we do have Yorick, Ezreal, and yeah, that's a really interesting team. Blue team doesn't really have an AP mid, and it also doesn't really look like red team does either. So I'm interested to see what exactly is going to happen, because I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work out, to be honest. So let's find out, I guess, is the only way we can do that. And this should be very interesting. I don't know who's going to go mid. It looks like, yeah, it looks like Olaf is going to go mid and possibly against the Darius. We'll see. We will see indeed. And it doesn't look like there's too much early aggression going out, which is probably good for both teams, because I don't know if either team really has any form of strong engage at this low of a level. I guess there's a Taric stun, but that's really all it is. And Maokai, you don't really want to do too much with Maokai earlier on in the game. It's just not a very good idea, because he needs a sapling, so he can't do a snare. And then if they engage, if red team engaged on the Maokai would have been, I don't really want to say screwed, but he'd be put behind in his jungle. Amumu's really easy to counter jungle though, because he is really fast, but he's also really squishy early level, so it's really good to try to get a first blood down on him. Seems like Yorick is gonna go top against the Shen, and they're relatively even. Amumu and Maokai are actually doing pretty well for each other. Looks like the wraiths were taken by somebody else besides Amumu. So that's going to be interesting. Amumu is usually really good at taking wraiths. Wraiths probably his easiest camp. But overall, in general, let's see. The Vayne player currently has a 55% win rate with Vayne. And so that's going to be really beneficial. Right around the 55 to 60% mark is what you'll see on most champions. Yeah, he has a ton. Typically, his main role is jungle, though. So, playing an AD carry instead of his main role jungle might give him a tad bit of a disadvantage. Oh, and a great initiation going on to Yorick. Yorick actually gets the kill on the Amumu. So, unfortunate dive. Very unfortunate. But great for Yorick. Yorick is going to be able to sustain this lane a little bit better against a Shen now. Even with the nerf to his lifesteal, he's still going to be extremely harassy and annoying, especially with double buffs now. Oh man, it's going to be absolutely insane. But it looks like the person that's playing Sona, their main is also jungle, and the main role of the Amumu is also jungle. So that's going to be interesting. And then the person playing Shen and Olaf, their mains are top. So they don't really have anybody that mains AD, AP carry, or anything. The blue team, however, Yorick specializes in top, but so does the Darius player, of course. Darius is known for his top. And the person playing Taric and Maokai are both main on jungling, so that'll be really interesting to see that as well. Although the Ezreal player does... Oh, and a bandage toss forcing the flash out from Darius. So great job on that play. being able to be aware of his surroundings and flashing at a perfect time. So using the bandage toss, he knew he wasn't going to get away from it unless he flashed, so he just had to flash. There's nothing else he could have done in that particular situation. But yeah, the Ezreal actually does main AD carry, so that should be very beneficial for their team. Let's see, what other information can we get from this game? Let's see. The win rate for Vayne is, actually 63%, so that's going to be very beneficial for their team. But then again, the win ratio for Ezreal is 68.7% when he plays Ezreal. And the Maokai has a 68% win rate as Maokai. So the blue team has a little bit more of a well-rounded team, as well as they're playing better champions, or champions that they're better with. The Amumu has a 59% win rate with the and a great arcane smash with the pull coming out from Darius. Darius, that bleed is going to take down the Olaf without any problems whatsoever. And yeah, it's going to be a 3-man gank, and nothing they're going to be able to do about that at all. So wonderful start for the blue team. They're coming out really strong, and they're taking the lead. They're 1,300 gold ahead, which isn't a lot, but 5 minutes in, that's relatively significant. That's, a pair of boots. So they probably should all have boots for the most part. But that's the difference between getting a gold per 10 item quite a bit sooner. And that definitely helps snowball the game even more if they start getting the gold per 10s with the advantage that they have. The Darius player. So Dyrus actually only has a 35% win ratio out of 20 games with his Darius. So he might drag the team down. I don't want to say he will, but it's very possible. Everybody besides that is kind of hovering right around the 50% win ratio mark with their champions that they're playing. Oh, and Darius doing a lot of damage on the Olaf. Olaf is maxed out stacks and getting the dunk, and the bleed is going to finish him off. And Olaf goes down to the Darius. Darius does not have any issues right now, so it looks like Darius might actually carry this game a little bit. Oh, and a great twisted advance with an arcane smash. Gets condemned almost immediately by that Vayne, so great reaction by the Vayne, but with the stun and the burst from Ezreal, it's just not happening. So the Taric and Ezreal have a really great synergy right now, as you can obviously tell. They're all going in pretty much right at the same time, and Maokai's doing a great job of following up with his twisted advance, applying as much pressure in the jungle as he can. He's counter jungling that Amumu. He threw a sapling in this bush, which is a great little tiny mini ward. And now Taric is going to help him with the blue buff and possibly give it to Darius. I'm not sure. Darius might just be waiting around the corner. Yes. And so the sapling spotted the Amumu. Amumu's going to throw a ward over that, but it's going to be too late. So great coverage by the blue team, being able to know exactly when they were coming. So they had a ward in this bush to see anybody who's coming from top or coming from this little middle entrance way from bottom lane. As well as the sapling in this bush to get anybody coming from mid or the top of mid. The middle of mid and the top of mid. Just wonderful play. This Maokai definitely has experience. Yeah, just wonderful. Just overall wonderful plays all the way around. A little bit sad for this Amumu. Amumu does pretty much require blue buff for the most part. He just has quite a few spammable abilities, especially if there's a lot of auto attackers. So every time he gets attacked, his tantrum, his cooldown is reduced. So against a Yorick schools will actually proc that, and so he can almost spam his tantrum. Like, as long as there's 3 ghouls attacking him, as well as, the normal auto attacks from Yorick, the auto attacks from Darius, Amumu and Ezreal, there's just a lot. That's if they want to auto attack him down, of course, which isn't likely. It's possible, but it's not likely. But regardless, if it does happen, he's going to be able to throw out his tantrum very frequently, and that's not going to be the best of ideas. And as you can see, he is maxing out his tantrum, so I know it is faster for jungling. Despair used to be really good because it does percentage-based damage, which is phenomenal, because any tank that does percentage-based damage, it's just really good, and that's why you see a lot of them go Abyssal Scepters, because it reduces their MR, and he does a lot of magic damage. So Mumu's coming around from the back. We might get a little bit of engage. Olaf's going to bait him off, does waste the grab, and now goes in, And Amumu's going to throw down his ult, going to do the bandage toss as well, and I don't know why Olaf ran out of there. He didn't have any stacks from Darius's passive on him, so there's no hemorrhage stacks. He was ignited, but he was at half health, and just one more reckless swing would have definitely taken that out. And a great grab coming out from Darius. Darius doing a lot of damage, and he takes some. It's not going to be enough with the with his ultimate and the health potion. He just didn't have enough hemorrhage stacks. Hemorrhage was nerfed a tad bit, not too much, but it's just one of those things. So it's going to force him to go back. So Olaf has to go back. He doesn't have an ult now. They're going to push mid tower very, very hard so that he loses out on as many creeps as he can, but Amumu's going to come in and kind of pick up the experience, just like a good jungler should do. It's definitely good. And now Ezreal finally hit 6. That's going to be really dangerous, but Vayne is level 7, so Vayne's been doing an excellent job just kind of staying in lane and farming. Vayne's actually ahead about 24 CS, which is huge at the 10-minute mark. I mean, that's like a kill and a half at this point, maybe 2 kills. But as you can see, Vayne has 2,800 gold, and Ezreal has 2,300. So 500 gold discrepancy between the two AD carries, even though Ezreal does have an assist and Vayne does not. Vayne actually rushing a BF sword and also has an elixir of fortitude, possibly going to be baiting his low health. It does have Sona as well, so Sona can crescendo when he gets low, and then he can pop his fort pot along with the final hour and just absolutely rip through anybody that goes in. But red team did not see Maokai go in there because I don't think that red ward or the ward in that bush gave vision. I'm not exactly sure where he came from though, so it's hard to say. It looks like they're being very cautious, but red team is pinging off right here because they think that Darius is coming there, and it's very possible. So great job, Darius knows exactly, and Sona's not paying attention. A great crescendo with Condemn into the wall, and now Darius is going to try to go for the kill, but gets stunned and hit with the axe. Phenomenal job with the bandage toss, and now the Shen ult's coming in, going on Amumu, and great twisted advance onto the Vayne, trying to get rid of that Vayne, and Taric's really low, almost gonna die, and a great ultimate coming out from Amumu. Amumu just barely gets the tip of the Curse of the Said Mummy, but unfortunately misses that particular bandage toss, and now Shen's gonna get a taunt, and with the red buff, is going to go directly onto Shen because there's absolutely no way Maokai was going to be able to get out of that. So great turnaround by the red team. Red team was definitely behind, and they were going low, but once they spotted that there was a transition going bottom, they set up perfectly for it. So great job by Vayne being able to stay alive, kind of kiting around, and just, yeah, basically just doing as much damage as she could without losing, without putting herself in a really bad position. One of the most important things of an AD carry is positioning. So it's great to see that she does have wonderful positioning. And Darius just doing so much damage with that, with the Phage. And now an Ignite going out just for fun, waiting for him to use that health potion just to make him waste it even more. It was very nice try, valiant effort. Amumu probably could have gone in for a bandage toss, but I think right when Darius saw the Amumu, he just decided to throw out the Ignite. So great reaction time by Darius because the bandage toss would have been perfect right on the tower, and Olaf either might have been able to get away or they might have been able to turn that around and get the kill. And blue team knew when the blue buff was going to spawn, yet they did not go for it. They didn't have it on a specific timer. I'm guessing they were off by like 4 or 5 seconds. So Amumu was able to safely get blue and get out of there. Darius just applying so much pressure on all the creeps, just pushing as hard as he possibly can, trying to force Olaf out of this game, pretty much, trying to zone him out, trying to put as many kills. Darius has 113 creep kills as opposed to Olaf's 65. Takes the middle tower and says, you know what, I'm just going to go roam because I can kill people now. So wonderful job by Darius. Great play. I think he might go back and try to get a Trinity Force here pretty soon. I'm not sure how much gold he has in the pocket. Only 1,000, so he's not going to be able to right away. But I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to be working up towards. I foresee a dragon fight in the near future. And it looks like the blue buff is going to be going on to Maokai again. And again, this Maokai is just providing... and a lot of damage coming out. Olaf's going to ghost in and pick up the last hit. Can't be disabled. Oh my gosh. Oh, very unfortunate for Darius. Tried to go for the pull and then possibly into the guillotine, but just didn't have enough time. Oh, and a great bandage toss and predicted flash, forcing the flash out of Yorick. That was a successful gank from Amumu. Amumu does poke out of the bush just a little bit, but then again, Yorick can always scout with his ghouls like he just did. So wonderful drop by Yorick. Looks like Vayne and Sona are still completely zoning out the Ezreal. Ezreal's down by 32 creep kills at this point. So this Vayne's just going to get more and more scary. Vayne already has a Bloodthirster. Matter of fact, the Bloodthirster. The Bloodthirster. The Bloodthirster of all Bloodthirsters. It's the Bloodthirsteriest. So Vayne is clearly very parched and needs all the blood. So she's just going to keep farming until she can max out those stacks and then possibly get level 2 boots, and they're going to look for a team fight at that point, especially when she gets full stacks on Bloodthirster. She did pop her Fortitude Elixir, and that is actually almost out, so she probably used it quite a while ago. Maokai is coming in, and a great twist advance, but did not notice that Vayne was there. Gets condemned into the wall perfectly, and a great ultimate coming out from Ezreal. Ezreal doing a ton of damage. The Shen ult's coming down, going to be able to taunt, but not going to because there's 3 of them there. Darius is going to go in, try to go for the pull, and possibly throw some stacks. Oh, and the pull doesn't quite go off. Gets exhausted. The Curse of the Sad Mummy coming out, and then Darius going out for the guillotine does actually pick up the kill. And now Taric goes down, and Vayne is just cleaning up the fight at this point. Picking up the kill. Oh, and a great flash. Bandage toss coming out from Amumu, and very unfortunate that it did miss, but it was perfectly aimed. Vayne's tumbled, kind of ran into the tree and didn't do too much. The Condemn is possibly going into the wall. Oh, a great axe juke, and it's, oh my gosh. That arcane shift was absolutely perfect. Phenomenal job by the Ezreal. You can definitely tell, now you see why, he has a 68% win ratio with Ezreal. Very well executed, was in the fight as long as possible, did as much damage as he could, and then got out with a lot of skill, for sure. Perfectly timed the flash, perfectly timed the arcane shift, perfectly timed the juke. It's just absolutely wonderful. But with this good news, this can give Red Team a perfect opportunity to get the first dragon of the game, and this is going to put them back in the game. They're only still pretty close to 3k gold behind. Sorry, 2k gold behind there. Almost 2k gold behind. And it's, it definitely closed the gap, and that's what they needed. So it was a great team fight on them, and again, Vayne is just doing so much work with that Bloodthirster. I don't know what's going to come next from this Vayne. I don't know if it's going to be Merc Treads. They don't have, the Snare, the Twisted Advance coming out from Maokai, as well as the Dazzle from Taric. They're not like super long CCs, but having those two plus the slow from Yorick is probably going to be enough for Vayne to either get a Quicksilver Sash or Merc Treads. And as you can see, she did get Berserker Greaves, so it's not going to be too much, nothing off my chest, I suppose. But I definitely foresee her going Quicksilver Sash sometime later on in the game, unless they continue to... Oh, and a great flash coming out. Twisted Advance coming in with the crescendo, but it's not hitting Maokai. Maokai is doing a ton of damage, and Ezreal's going to go in for the kill, but he was unable to, and he used his ult to farm up the lane a little bit ago, so he's not going to be able to do anything. Darius trying to get the Olaf. Olaf's going to go... Oh, and is the guillotine going to come out? Guillotine does not actually come out. Very unfortunate. Mumu's pinging... Or sorry, Mumu's getting pinged by Taric. They thought he was going top, or going towards mid to try to pick up that last final blow or two. Very unfortunate that he wasn't being able to. Yorick is now just... Yorick and Shen have just been farming up top pretty much the entire game. Give or take, a couple times that they went bot to gank. But Yorick has 4 gold per 10 items. 4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And final hour coming up. Ezreal just getting absolutely chunked. And a great job with the Curse of the Sad Mummy coming out. And the Condemn back away from the tower. Oh my goodness. I think Amumu tried to give Vayne that last kill, but it looks like a tick from... Jeez, I don't even remember what it's called now. That is embarrassing. Despair, sorry. The last tick from Despair ended up killing it. Oh, and a great grab coming out from Darius. And Darius is not going to be able to do too much at that point. Oh, and a lot of damage going out onto mid lane for both champions. Oh, and the axe almost picked up the kill. Very close. And it looks like Yorick's coming around from the back. And the Twist Advance coming in. The ult coming out. And now I don't believe that he's going to be able to get away from this. And the Ignite's now coming out. And Shen's going to taunt. And just enough damage. Yorick does ult himself. Tries to get out of there away from the Shen. Shen is just doing so much damage. Going to try to slow him down as much as he can. Ezreal's now coming in for the assist. Doing a ton of damage, and Yorick is now very low. Great taunt, getting both of them, but the Dazzle coming out, and now Amumu coming in with the Despair. Shen flashes out of there, getting enough damage. Ezreal misses his ult, just barely. Good job by Shen being able to get out of there. Crescendo just barely misses the Yorick. Oh my gosh, this whole game, oh my god. So 3 people got out of that fight with like under 100 health. That was absolutely insane, and then of course I missed the kill. The one kill that there is, I miss it. Where is it? Okay. So Darius is coming in here. He's being sneaky. He's gonna hide in this bush. He likes his bush. Oh, and a great apprehend is gonna come out. Oh no, he's just gonna dunk. He doesn't even care. He's like, no, I don't need an apprehend. Now he's gonna apprehend the Sona, do a little bit of damage, slow her down with the procs from that Trinity Force, and now he's just gonna go for the dunk, and there's absolutely nothing Sona can do about that. Her Crescendo was down. She was slowed from the Trinity Force procs. And, oh man, great job by Darius being able to pick that up. Now 7-3-0 with 169 creep kills and a gold pretend item. Although this Yorick may be contesting for #1 gold on the team, he does have 4 gold pretend items. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all 4 gold pretend items. 7,700 gold. So with only 2 kills, he almost tied with Darius with 7 kills. Absolutely insane, but great job. And it looks like blue team has quite the advantage. Blue team has 2 champions at about 8,000 gold, and unfortunately red team doesn't have anybody even at 7. Olaf's really close, Vayne is really close, but they're still each like 1,000 gold behind. And if that continues to increase, they're going to be getting like an extra BF sword or an extra needlessly large rod or whatever it is that they need to get if it keeps continuing to snowball this way. Red team has a lot of tanks and a lot of people that can just get in your face. I'm not too sure how well the protect the Vayne thing is going to go. It'll be interesting, for sure. But I'm just not sure how it's going to play out. They have, Crescendo. They have the Curse of the Sad Mummy with the Bandage Toss as well. So Mumu's, and they have a taunt from Shen. So it could go very well. But I still expect the Vayne to get... Oh, and a great apprehend coming out from Darius. Darius doing a lot of damage. Curse of the Sad Mummy coming out with Twisted Advance and the dunk. And then, oh my gosh, that is not good. Taric picking up the kill onto the Vayne. Let me just back up a little bit so I can see that one more time. Again, Vayne is just running in directly into Taric, and the Yorick do a lot of damage. Again, with the ultimate coming out, the Radiance just doing so much damage. And now I'm not quite sure what the blue team is going to do there. They might go for Baron, but it doesn't look like it. Shen goes in and ends up taking the first top tower. So phenomenal job by him being able to apply pressure on the other side of the map to try to get them back off, but I don't think they're falling for it. And a great apprehend coming out. Olaf is going to blow his ult and his ghost to try to get away, and blue team takes another mid tower. And oh, a third mid tower going out for the blue team, and a great job. If this bandage toss comes out from Amumu, dun dun dun, oh, it's really close. And wonderful trade for the blue team. They're able to pick up a great kill and then take 2 mid towers. But Shen, on the other hand, is just split pushing like a freaking beast. And now Shen's going to go directly into their base because there's absolutely no way he's going to get away from this. The apprehend might come out. Darius does seem to be a little bit faster. The apprehend does come out. Ezreal's also on top of him. He's going to try to get out of there. Snare coming out and the Arcane Smash. Very unfortunate he's not going to be able to get out of there. And the Space Jam coming out from Darius ends up getting them the kill. But it also feeds red team a second dragon. So great job by Shen. He was able to bait 5 members of the blue team away from Dragon while getting 2 towers at the same time. Just absolutely wonderful job. Wonderful, wonderful job. Yes, it cost him a death, but 2 towers and Dragon for a death is by far worth it. The fact he also did not have a killing spree, so it was not worth it at all. And Vayne is just getting the Bloodthirster stacks easily from those ghouls. So great job by Vayne being able to farm that up. She knows she could just bait herself into Yorick, popping 3 ghouls, and then farming those as well as the minions, getting her Bloodthirster stacks basically twice as fast. And let's see what else we can find out about these teams. Let's see. The Sona actually has 1,368 normal wins, so that's very impressive. The average win ratio for the champions that everybody's playing on the red team is 54.78%, and the average win ratio for the people that are playing on the blue team as their champions is 60.84%. So blue team they have a percentage average. I'll say that. They have a percentage average, and as you can tell by the way they're playing, they do have an advantage in this current game. Of course, a lot of it, this is just raw data. It doesn't base anything on team compositions or how well they work together, things like that. It's just strictly the average amount of wins that those people have playing the champions and then averaging all 5 of them together. So despite Darius only having a 35% win rate, they still have a 60.84% win ratio coming out on the blue team, which is extremely high. They have a 6% advantage based on raw data, and the Darius is doing really good. So hopefully Darius can keep it up. He does have a Warmogs now, which is crazy, but he's going to be able to get a lot more kills. And the Apprehend coming down, forcing Olaf to use his ultimate, and... Oh, no, he actually didn't. Sorry, he just used the Undertow. It looked like he did. Thought I saw the animation, but I suppose not. And Amumu's just kind of eating as many Ezreal Qs, so the Mystic Shots. Not really doing too much damage to Amumu, since Amumu does have the Sunfire Cape. And I definitely foresee Amumu going Abyssal Scepter next, if they can do it. Darius just apprehending the Amumu, which I don't know if it's the best decision. Amumu's going to get in there. Kit's stunt isn't going to be able to do much. I don't even think he got off his... It looks... He actually did. I didn't see the animation go off, but... and Shen going in for huge damage. Does get picked up by the axe on Olaf, and then Olaf is going to go down to the Yorick. Shen taunts both Taric and the Yorick, but the Dazzle comes out right after, or right before. So Shen is now just trying to run away. Does flash over the wall. Great ward coming out, so they're able to predict it pretty easily. Dazzle's not coming out, but the health and the shatter coming out from Taric is going to reduce his armor significantly. Yorick, unfortunately, does not have any mana to stay in that fight, and the shatter is no longer up, so they don't have that armor buff. Yorick's just going to go ahead and start counter-jungling, but now Ezreal has a very tasty creep wave top lane, and he's going to be able to get a lot of creep kills just for free, basically. And now it seems like it's going to be a giant mass recall among everybody on the blue team, and I foresee a pressure on Baron. There very well could be a lot of pressure on Baron coming out here pretty soon. Red team wants to avoid that as much as possible. They don't want to do a fight right now. Cris the Mummy is down for a few more seconds. It does have 14 seconds left, and now red team is actually pinging the Baron, so they really, really want that. Amumu has his oracles, doesn't see any wards coming out from the blue team, which is true, and they're going for it. And again, Amumu has percentage damage. Olaf has true damage. It's going to be a lot. Red team is now pinging the blue team. Blue team is pinging the red team. Ping's going all over the place. Shenton misses everything, so he's going to be low on energy. And a great Ezreal ultimate hitting 3 people of the red team. And now Taric is going down so fast. Vayne just doing absolutely a million damage to everybody. Chasing down the Darius. Going to be kiting like a madman. And Mumu coming back in. Shen uses his shield, is able to get it completely off, taunts him away, and red team wins that fight hands down, 3-0. They are returning to base, but it looks like Shen wanted to recall because he did not have any health. And now it looks like Amumu might actually die. Oh no, the great heal coming out from Sona, being able to keep him alive. Vayne is now soloing the Baron for the most part, taking as much as he can, and now she has to back off. Olaf, yes, they're pinging the retreat, and Sona gets executed by the Baron. Blue team notices that they did get executed, and they had a ward here, so they saw Olaf back off. I don't know exactly what Olaf was doing. He was at full health, and he was not pressuring Baron. He didn't fight Baron along with Vayne, which would have been what he needed to do in order for them to get that Baron. He's very, very good at taking those Baron. He is kind of going a little bit more supporty, but he still does a lot of damage, and the true damage coming out is very significant. Shen getting spotted by that ward and then dazzled immediately. Shen doesn't really seem to care. Just going to kind of hang out on the outskirts. Oh, the apprehend coming out, but doesn't quite make it there. And now Olaf's going in with no mana, absolutely no mana. Gonna try to do as much damage as he can, but he doesn't have enough. He's gonna pop a Shirley's and get out of there. Ezreal with a great ultimate, hitting 3 members, and Vayne again just ripping apart everybody. The taunt from Shen bringing Taric into the fray of the battle, trying to get, yes, a great dazzle onto the Vayne, and they're gonna have to get this Vayne. Vayne does go down from Ezreal. Phenomenal job by the blue team, being able to coordinate and say, we need to get this Vayne. If we let Vayne run rampant like she has the past 2 fights, we're going to lose this game. And now blue team has the Baron, and they're going to take this inhibitor. There's nothing that's going to stop them. The only people that would really be able to put them off would be that Vayne and the Amumu, who are both dead. Shen actually going in for a great taunt. And, oh man, Olaf just doesn't quite have enough damage, and Shen's going to go down. Apprehend getting both Shen and the Olaf. Olaf is going to go down slowly but surely. There's another Space Jam coming out from the Darius, and they take out that first inhibitor. Wonderful job by the blue team. Great coordination. Now Yorick has... Oh my gosh, that is not fun times. Those Guardian Angels are really pesky. And the Apprehend coming out from Darius with the Twisted Advance. The Space Gem tries to come out, but he's unable to finish the animation. It will be on cooldown. Very unfortunate. And now it looks like it's going to be GG for the blue team, but it's never over until it's over. And another Space Gem coming out. Doesn't get the kill, though. Once again, gets it stolen by the Ezreal. And the Nexus goes down. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. That was just all around great, great, great game. Red team was hanging in there. They started off behind. They tried to come back. It just seemed like it was a little bit too late. Darius got really fed that game. Overall, great game. Good job. Congratulations to the blue team, and GG to the red team. And again, if you guys like my videos, make sure to like them and subscribe to my channel. I try to get a new video every single day. It is called Daily High ELO Casting. Sometimes I miss a day or two, depending. I also have a weekly show that's going to be happening on Thursdays called Completely Obscene Casting, where I have a friend come over, and we each pick a team, and we drink depending on how bad our team does or how good our team does, that type of thing. So it's a really crazy alcoholic game, but you can always join in on the drinking festivities. I do stream that. But yeah, again, I did hit 250 subscribers, so make sure to watch that video. I do give out prizes, or not prizes, but I do a raffle every time I hit one of my personal milestones that I've set for myself. So make sure to keep an eye out on that. And again, thanks guys for supporting me, and we'll see you tomorrow.